Hello everyone, good morning to all the viewers of the Legal Game. This is Kushagra Goyal and very warm welcome to the only channel for your solution related to law entrance exams. So on November 25, we'll be discussing the newspaper analysis and also talking about two very important government schemes. One is the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. And then we are going to talk about a data statistic that the government collects. This will be primarily related to the National Family Health Survey, the fifth one. Okay, so let's dive into this discussion. A very good morning to all the viewers of the Legal Game. Okay, so on that note, let's begin with the newspaper analysis. So on the front page, we have the news about the inauguration of the second airport in the National Capital Region or the NCR region. This will primarily be serving the Delhi city, but also the areas around it, that is Meerut, Aligarh, Faridabad, all that. Now, what is the key factor about this? This one, okay, the one that we are going to talk about, the one that the Prime Minister is inaugurating, the Jewar Airport, this one is going to be Asia's largest and the one that will have the fourth largest in terms of international airports. Okay, so we'll be talking about this one primarily. So all we need to know is the name of the airport and the area where it is being built and the state. So Uttar Pradesh is the state where this is being built. Okay, it is going to be the largest in Asia and the fourth largest in the world. So that those two are very key factors that you need to be aware of. Okay, then moving on the newspaper analysis part, right? So on the very front page, we have news related to food grain scheme. Okay, in that regard, we will be primarily be focusing on the factual matrix related to this news. Okay, the factual matrix related to this headline. What do we need to note? So that the center's free food grain scheme will carry on till March. The scheme was initially launched during the first lockdown, that is 2020. Okay, then it was extended for 6 months last November because there were elections in some states. Now it has been extended till March. See, if you have been following the newspaper, आपको पता होगा कि भारत के अंदर the level of food shortage and malnutrition has actually increased over time. Okay, so this news is going to directly benefit those who have been suffering and those who need government assistance for their basic food requirements. अब इसके अंदर क्या बात करी गई है? What has been talked about in this headline? Okay, so in this regard, Anurag Thakur, the Information and Broadcasting Minister, he is also talking about the repeal of farm bills. So before a scheme is approved before the parliament, it is first confirmed in the union cabinet. सबसे पहले सरकार, भारत सरकार के कैबिनेट में उसके बारे में बात करी जाती है. So it has now been approved there. In this regard, the scheme itself, okay, the expansion of the scheme which provides food grains to 80 crore ration card holders. What is provided to them? 5 kilograms of additional rice or wheat based on the area of their geographical location in India. ठीक है, स्कीम का नाम क्या बेनिफिट है एंड अंडर व्हाट? राइट टू फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट 2030. ओके, और द फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट 2013. This was passed. This provides every Indian with the right to food security. ये अपने आप में एक landmark scheme है. It's a landmark law primarily focused on benefit of everyone. India has one of the highest number of malnutrition children. Now in that regard is the second news on the newspaper important. ठीक है, जो newspaper पे second headline है, that is of note for us. So We are going to discuss that. All right. So on the right hand side is the news: more hospital births but limited gains in child nutrition, NFHS. क्या फुल फॉर्म है इसका? नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात, नेम नेशनल ठीक है. अब इस सर्वे के अंदर सबसे बड़ी हेडलाइन जो है, which is known as the TFR, that India's total fertility rate has dropped below 2 or replacement level. इसका क्या मतलब है? So we'll be diving into the news related to that. On that point, I also, before we dive into the news, I want to inform all of you about a mock test that Unacademy is conducting for the students. This mock test will be held on 27th of November, okay, and it will begin at 5 p.m. This is a scholarship come reward based mock test. What are we going to do in this? It is a full length mock test based on CLAT, 150 questions, 120 minutes. The rewards are amazing. Not only do rank 1, the one who withstands first in this will get 100% scholarship on your 6-month subscription. See, CLAT is 6 months away, so you will get to watch every paid course on Unacademy for free of cost. So that is first thing. Then you also get Amazon voucher worth 5,000 rupees. So anything that you want to purchase for your kickstart related to, or you need any other specific equipment that you need to purchase, stationery, all that, okay? So Amazon, anything under the bracket of 5,000 you can purchase. Secondly, students who will get rank 2, they are eligible for 3,000 rupees of cash voucher plus 50% scholarship. Rank 3 will also get 50% scholarship and a cash voucher of 2,000 rupees. Rank 4 to 6, 4 to 10 will get Amazon voucher worth 500 rupees plus 10% scholarship. Okay. So this test goes live at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Please do attend to it. Okay. And in regard to your preparation, I will also be taking a special class on November 27 at 5 p.m. Okay. This will be a revision class. So for those who believe that their preparation is still lacking, this is a brilliant class for all of you. It will be a special class totally free of cost. It will not cost you anything. You can take this class and access the class through my code KUSHGK. It will be totally free of cost. I will be discussing 5 essential CLAT revision topics within this class. Okay? And for those who are watching me for the very first time, I am Kushagra Goyal, a graduate from National Law University, a Masters in Economics. I've assisted students to achieve AIR 4, AIR 16 and CLAT 2021. Plus, I did a revision series that got 90% of the GK questions. So if I am telling you certain topic is essential, there is a high chance that it will come in your examination. Okay? Lastly, I humbly invite all of you to join me on the Telegram community. It is there on Telegram app that we cover all the topics related to your preparation. Every suggestion that student wants to give to me, that sir, this topic is something that we have a problem with, can you take a class on that? I am 100% approachable in that regard on the Telegram channel. You can find me at Kushagra Goyal, the legal game _Unacat. This is where you will find me. The notes related to this class are available at KUSHGK notes. bit.ly/KUSHGK notes. The link to it is also in the description box. Okay, so first let's talk about the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Okay, so the name PMGKAY. Alright. right? It was first launched as part of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. This was launched in 2020. ठीक है, 2020 में ये स्कीम लॉन्च होती है सबसे पहली बार. विच इज द नोडल मिनिस्ट्री फॉर दिस? इट इज द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस. ठीक है, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस के अंदर ये स्कीम डायरेक्टली रन करी जा रही है. ऑलराइट, it covers 80 crore ration card holders. Alright, first it was extended till November 2020, then it was extended till March 2021, then November 2021, and now March 2022. Okay, it is focused and aimed at providing each person who is covered under the National Food Security Act with additional 5 kilogram grains, wheat or rice for free, in addition of the 5 kilogram subsidized food grains they are already provided. So every person in India, every poor person is provided with 5 kg grain. Now you also get additional 5 kg. So 10 kgs per month is your quota under this scheme. Alright. This is the first fact. Now related to the National Family Health Survey. So it is a large scale multi-round survey. Okay. It collects data from the households directly. Now, which is the ministry that has been conducting it? Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of Government of India. They conducted along with International Institute for Population Sciences, Mumbai. Okay, they are the two organizations that conduct this. Then, when was it established? Institute of Population Sciences, it was established in 1956 under Sir Darobji Tata Trust, okay, along with Government of India and United Nations. Alright, what is the purpose of it? It is a training and research institute for population studies, developing countries in Asia and Pacific region. So this is the NGO that works along with Government of India on this. Alright. So these are the two facts that you need to be aware of. Now we come back to the newspaper. Okay, we will be talking about different headings related to it. So the first thing that we need to talk about is the TFR. Alright, what is the TFR? Why do we need to know about TFR? All of that we will be discussing. Okay. Right. So the first thing that you need to know is TFR per se. Okay, total fertility rate. TFR is the average. Okay, it's an average across the country of how many children a woman gives birth during their normal lifetime. Alright, TFR, total fertility rate, is the average number of children a woman gives birth in her life. Okay, in India this has now dropped below 2 as a absolute number. Okay, इसका क्या मतलब है कि now we have moved beyond replacement level, as in अब the total number of children that a average Indian woman is producing in her livelihood is less than 2. So our population over the decades is now going to start declining. Alright, that there are certain states that still have a higher TPR, but overall the country's total population rate is now dropping. It bursts the myth that we need these controlled mechanisms that state that you cannot or you will be given up from your voting rights, all of it. The focus then it puts back on family planning, that not compulsory but a overall welfare of women actually leads to better family planning. All right, so this is the key aspect that this is talking about. Then what is the other news on the newspaper is the one related to will you ban convicts from poll, ask Supreme Court. All right, so what is it? What is the word convicted mean? A convicted is that person whose punishment slash crime has been confirmed by court. A convict is a person whose punishment or crime has been confirmed by court in India. So it could be a subordinate court, high court or supreme court. अभी तक क्या है? If you have a conviction less than 2 years, then you can compete. If you have a conviction more than 2 years, then the total ban that you have is only of 6 years. That after serving your sentence for 6 years you cannot run. Now in India, एक तो we have one major problem is the time period in which these cases are taken up. So if as long as you are a convict, okay, then you cannot compete. But if your petition is lying in appeal, then you can run for elections. The second problem is the high number of such cases against politicians. Criminalization of Indian democracy is a huge problem. That majority politicians, approximately 45% of our MPs and MLAs come from criminal background. Even most of the union cabinet ministers, especially everyone in the home ministry, has cases of serious offences against them, be it the honorable home minister himself or the minister of states in the home ministry. All of them have severe criminal cases pending against them. Okay, the current chief minister of Uttar Pradesh actually withdrew cases against himself, and the Supreme Court is now hearing petition of how could you withdraw your own cases, right? So this is the problem. If a criminal comes into politics, then they can get away with crime. That is the problem. Supreme Court has asked the union government, will you ban politicians who are convicted from life? The moment you are convicted, instead of the current limitation of 6 years, okay, instead of 6 years, make it a lifetime. That now you cannot compete at all. So this is the claim that is now being made. All right. So it is a key part for democracy and development in general. Okay. So we need to wait of the response. The union government last year in a response had stated that they are not in favor of banning politicians for life. We'll be talking about it a little more in other national news also. Okay. Apart from this, overall, that areas around Delhi also, India has 7 of the 14 most polluted cities of the world. Okay. So pollution in our cities is a huge problem. It's a national level problem and not just that of the Delhi NCR region. Okay. Now here is the news. Jawar town struggles to process newfound fame. So land has been taken away of the farmers and they consented. Now when land has to be taken away or acquired, what is the percentage approval? Okay. This headline here has only one key part. Let's say there is a land on which a development project has to come up. How many people need to agree? What is the percentage of people that need to agree for this land to be acquired for a particular project? The number is 70%. 70% of the residents need to agree for land acquisition. Okay, this is the key part. Okay, that 70% of the residents need to agree. This is the this is the threshold set under the Land Acquisition Act of India. At least 70% of the people need to agree to it. All right. This is the key part that we need to be aware of. Okay. Then we move on to the main editorial. So we'll first be talking about the one on the left hand side. So all of you do know about the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. It places absolute liability. Okay. For any sexual offense, there is absolute liability. Intention, consent, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. As long as you indulge in a sexual act with a minor, then you have absolute liability. This is a law to protect the minors from such sexual offenses. Consent, no consent does not matter. But what has happened? Recently, the High Court of Allahabad, okay, for oral sex, stated punishment is 7 years. But for every other sexual offense, I'll zoom out a little. For every other sexual offense, it is 10 years to lifetime. Okay? This is the highlight. This is the distinction that the High Court created. Ki if there is oral sex, then there is only 7 years. If it is any other penetrative sexual offense, then it is 10 years to a lifetime. This is what is being criticized. कि ये distinction कैसे create किया आपने? Law के अंदर all these acts are sexual offenses. Groping, touching, and non-penetrative are all part of sexual offenses. Does not matter if there is non-penetration. Sexual offense has happened, then it is liable. Then you are liable. All right. So the court is being criticized. The order is being criticized for primarily this purpose. Okay. I need to erase this because we have to also then come to the main editorial also, right? So penetrative sexual assault. Okay, the court created a distinction between penetrative sexual assault and sexual assault. Okay, that this is not a penetrative sexual assault. This distinction is what is being criticized. All right, that the punishment. All right, so the editorial then reads, the High Court seems to have missed either this legal provision while reducing the sentence or the fact that the child was about 10 years old when the offense took place. The fact that convicted person will not obviate the deleterious effect of the ruling. What it does is, deleterious effect, that is a slippery slope. What will happen eventually as it goes on, alright? This is the key part that this judgment is highlighting. It is a slippery slope, that different kinds of sexual offenses will now get categorized with specific punishment, which is a problem. You need to have one standard punishment. POCSO has one standard punishment. Okay, POCSO has one standard punishment. Now, because of this, this will get reduced. Okay, so that is the key that is being talked about here. All right. Then we move on. This is key to understand that under the law, there is absolute liability. Okay, that under this law, there is absolute liability. Right? Now we move on the right hand side. Battered and bruised, repealed and withdrawn. Okay? This is talking about the two laws that have been repealed recently. The first one are the 3 farm bills. The second one is a law passed by the government of Andhra Pradesh to create 3 capitals instead of 1 capital city. This was heralded as a measure of decentralization. Okay, the current YSR Congress party passed a law, okay, to create 3 capitals. Andhra Pradesh Decentralization and Inclusive Regions Act. What did they do? Previous government ने जो भी decide किया था उसको repeal किया, उसकी जगह खुद के 3 new capital cities create करे. ठीक है, उसके against punishment सबसे पहली complaint were filed by the farmers. Farmers की land लेके अमरावती में capital बनाने का plan था. The farmers were expected to gain certain returns because they had given up their fertile land. Now that the capital city was not being created, that created first problem. If the capital city is not being created there, then the return will not be that much. All the contracts have been rescinded. So first complaint was by them. The second one was by the court itself. Different corruption cases or involvement of the government was founded in this regard. Okay, it was believed even the judiciary was involved. Now all this is sub judice, all this is speculative, this editorial is also speculative, but what is concerning are 2 things that have been found. First, a gag order. What is a gag order? A gag order is a one that shuts you up. For example, any court proceeding that is in India is public hearing. Okay? Media can discuss and be informed about the matter. However, a gag order prevents a hearing from being public. That is a gag order. The second one is the court telling that there has been a breakdown of constitutional machinery. What is it related to? Article 256 of the Constitution. Okay? It is related to Article 256 of the Constitution. That is breakdown of constitutional machinery. If this has happened, then precedents rule. Okay? If this happens, then precedents rule can be imposed. Okay? This is the key part. The problem was here the law states that only the governor can make such a recommendation. However, here the High Court was making this recommendation. Okay? I'm changing the color of it. Alright? One second. Just to make it more clear why this was unique. So usually it is the governor, alright? But here it was the High Court that was making a recommendation during a petition. Okay, so that started this entire thing of multiple petitions being filed by multiple people claiming that there has been a breakdown. So the moment Bengal elections where BJP lost, BJP legislators filed a petition before the High Court that disband this government, hold new elections, ban them. Okay. Similarly, this happened in Tripura. Similarly, it happened in Delhi. That president's rule, just because your party is there at the helm of the central government. This is once again another slippery slope that is being talked about. Okay. So it is in this regard that we are discussing this editorial. Okay. So इस editorial में ये दोनों बातें हैं. All right. First is a gag order that media cannot be restricted from discussing or informing the public about court hearings. And the second is Article 256. So ये दोनों बातें हमें नोट करनी है under this editorial. All right, fair enough. Then we move on to pointers that India is witnessing a K-shaped recovery. Okay, so I will be explaining this one here. Usually, GDP growth, okay, is measured on year on year basis. हर साल कितना excuse me, year on year basis. That's the key. GDP is measured on a year on year basis. Right? Now, this is a V-shaped recovery curve. Then there is a U-shaped recovery curve. What does it mean? If, let's say, okay, now I'm using a different color, right? This is these 2 points, point A1 and point A0. They represent growth during 2020. Alright? 2020 में the GDP growth was here. Then these or this point and then this point. Okay? Let's name them B0, B1 and B2. Let's say they represent 2021. Okay? That because of COVID-19, over time we recorded negative growth. Okay? That over time we recorded negative growth. That growth went from here to here. In a V-shaped curve, there is immediate bounce back. Okay? And what happens by the time, let's say 2022 comes around, right? You have reached a growth and you are moving ahead. Similarly, in a U-shaped curve, the growth is a little slow. You will eventually rise, right? There will be a slow process where you will stagnate and then recover in a U-shaped growth. But there is growth. In general, that everyone is growing in both V and U-shaped recovery. The growth is happening of everyone. ठीक है, ये अपने आप में एक important बात है that the growth is happening of everyone. ठीक है, now the editorial talks about a curve known as K-shaped recovery. Okay, a K-shaped recovery. if this is the line and these are point A0 and point A1, so certain people to are having growth, okay, they have immediately bounced back, right? Certain people have immediately bounced back, but certain people are carrying on to go down, okay? In a K-shaped recovery, some record growth while others do not. Okay, this is the funda of K-shaped recovery curve. That certain people will immediately record growth because the economy is recovering, but certain people do not. This was highlighted for the first time in India during demonetization. Businesses that were seamlessly able to transfer their business from cash to cashless, they recovered immediately. Businesses that relied on cash to work in the first place, they were not able to recover. Most of those businesses have never recovered in the first place. So the editorial here pointers that India is witnessing a K-shaped recovery. Why is this happening is for two reasons. Okay, first is uneven taxation in India. Okay, uneven taxation meaning in India, direct or progressive tax has gone down. Progressive in the sense that people with higher income are taxed higher. That progressive type of taxation though has gone down. Whereas taxation that is non-progressive or indirect, okay, the one on GST, the one on fuel, that has risen. For example, the Indian government now reduced corporate tax in 2020 and 2019. They also provided more rebates to people who pay income taxes at a higher level. Alright. However, the fuel tax has remained high. Similarly, GST on commodities that everyone consumes has gone higher and higher. What it does is it hurts the poor more, poor and middle people or middle income families, while it helps the rich get richer. Okay, so in India, the K-shaped recovery is also going to increase the inequality gap. Okay, so this is the key part that is being highlighted in this editorial. The second thing is, then what can the government do? So the first thing that the government has to do is inverse the situation of taxation. That is, progressive taxes or rich should be taxed more while the poor should be taxed less. Alright? Only then will the government be able to get money from the rich and give it to the poor. How will it give it to the poor? By investment schemes, welfare schemes. Make it easier for the poor to survive. Alright? Only then will there be recovery for everyone. Alright? So this is what this editorial is talking about. Very important from a policy perspective. Then on the left hand side, see, we discussed it because it's part of economic policy. It's something that on a normal level we need to understand economic concepts. Related to economic concepts, I am starting a plus course on Unacademy platform, which will go live today at 7 p.m. and the classes will be held at 9 p.m. tomorrow and day after. So make sure that you enroll yourself for the course. Okay, the details about the course are available on my Telegram group. Then on the left hand side, virus rages in Europe. Since the pandemic broke out, Europe has become for the second time the epicenter of the COVID-19 virus. Cases there are rising to 2 to 3 million. Okay, even though vaccination has been high, that is, breakthrough infections are increasing. The virus is becoming more and more potent. So this is why the risk of the virus has not gone away. Then the left hand side, a food crisis of the government's own making. See, this is the one about a complete shift that Sri Lanka announced this March towards organic farming. Okay, all chemical fertilizers were banned. Right, chemical fertilizers were banned and only organic farming. But when you suddenly bring in a shock, okay, organic farming will have less output than a chemical farm. All right, so the farmer will produce less, so his income will fall. How will you compensate him for the income? Plus, if the food supply is low, should the people start consuming less? If they want more, then there is a food crisis. So this is the food crisis that is of government's own making. However, they have made changes to it. How have they made changes to it? We'll come to it on the international news. Then on the right hand side, a unified regulatory framework. Okay, this is talking about platform businesses. Platform क्या होता है? A platform is where everyone is the same and you get locked onto a platform. If there is a railway platform or any platform, okay, the key part is that you get locked in. Alright, so for example, you start using Gmail, then by default you will have to start using Google Drive, then by default you will start using Google messaging apps, or you will start using Android because they are more seamlessly interlinked. Similarly, companies want to lock you in. And the new thing that they are doing is creating walled gardens. Walled gardens क्या होता है? The moment you are on their platform, then there are certain bundles that they will offer. जैसे Apple Music. ठीक है? The moment you purchase an iPhone, then you get Apple Music plus Apple TV plus then you start getting certain other benefits. So these become bundled in together. So if you want to carry on with any of this service, let's say you just want one, you don't want the others, but you have been locked in. For example, the moment you purchase Amazon Prime, you also get Amazon Prime Music, you get Kindle, you get Amazon Music. So even if you're not using, you're actually paying for all those services. So you are locked in. These are walled gardens where consumers will have to pay more and more for different platform or streaming service. अब जैसे Hotstar है, तो उसके लिए you have to purchase separate. Then you have these different walled gardens. You may not get everything in one place. Everything is on the internet, but everything is on a specific platform. So these are walled gardens and they are against net neutrality. Net neutrality का क्या मतलब था? Net neutrality meant that everyone, the moment you get access to internet, you get access to all the services of the internet without being locked in. However, because of these walled gardens, now you cannot pick and choose. Companies are choosing that this is what you get for this, right? Your options are becoming limited. So this is the concern that is being talked about in this editorial, and that there should be a uniform system, a unified regulatory framework. That telecom company जैसे Airtel, the moment you purchase Jio का subscription or Jio SIM, you get services from Jio, you get plus you get Disney Hotstar. Similarly, when you buy Airtel, then you get Netflix. So all these things are bundled in and they are becoming walled gardens, which this op-ed is talking about. All right. Then we move on. Learning patterns, everyone's learning patterns has changed. All of you are now learning more and more through digital, right? So this is a data point about that. Then we move on to other national news. On the left hand side is more hospital births indicate NFHS. So overall, see, as I was talking about that, see, India does not need any coercive or forced population control measures. Okay, so this is the key part that has become important. It has been in news, you should ban all this thing. So NFHS 5 does away or move away from that. Then the second thing is the petition that is there from the Supreme Court for banning politicians. So the key argument that was made by Ashwini Kumar Upadhyay, He made that, see, a person who is convicted cannot serve in the government as a clerk, IAS officer, or any position. But that person who is a criminal can become a politician and change the rules or govern everyone who cannot be a criminal. How is this a fair thing? In a democracy, if the bureaucracy or any government office or private employment also does not provide employment to criminals, how can politicians be criminal? So, very fair argument. This is what the key aspect is before the Supreme Court, that how can criminals be allowed in a profession, all right? That is, or that determines the function of everyone. Apart from this, political news, don't disturb federalism. This is regarding BSF jurisdiction. We had talked about BSF jurisdiction earlier, so this is in regard to that. Then we move on national news, nothing of real note for us. Then Chinese firms eye Afghanistan's lithium. So China has almost recognized Taliban regime. It has offered aid to the government of Taliban in return of projects there. So in that regard, lithium resources which are needed for electric cars, right? Lithium ion batteries are the key aspect that you need. So for that, you need this. Okay, so the key part here is Chinese firms eyeing that. In terms of this, is a port project. So India and Japan were going to create this port project, which is the East Container Terminal of Colombo. Originally, this was going to be created by India and Japan. Then India and Japan were kicked out on the argument that only Sri Lanka will create it. But now the hypocrisy is out that the Sri Lankan government, which is very close, the Rajpaksha families who are very close to the Chinese Communist Party, okay, they have now told that, see, this project will now be built by a Sri Lankan company along with a Chinese company, right? So overall, it is the Chinese company that has now got the contract, right? So this big project, that is East Container Terminal, which was earlier being built by India and Japan, was cancelled by the government and then now given to the Chinese. Which Chinese company? China's Communications Construction Company. Okay, they are the largest conglomerate which are going to create the East Container Terminal. All right. Then on the left hand side, US President invites Taiwan to online meet on democracy. United States is going to host a summit for democracy and welfare of democracies. In that regard, Taiwan has been asked. Remember, last Tuesday, एक हफ्ते पहले US President Joe Biden met the Chinese President Xi Jinping, where Xi Jinping talked about that Taiwan is an integral part of China. Okay, in that regard, US has specifically called in Taiwan, right? This is the key that is being highlighted, that, see, this is part of posturing. US does not recognize Chinese suzerainty over Taiwan, and Taiwan is an independent one. In regard to this, I have made one YouTube video primarily on Taiwan and the controversy there, so please check it out. Okay, I will provide the link to it once again in the group of the Telegram. Then we move on is the news, the first women Prime Minister of Sweden. So Sweden held its parliamentary elections recently, and Magdalena Andersson, she has become the first women Prime Minister. The 54-year-old has become the first women Prime Minister of Sweden. Okay. Now on the editorial page, we had talked about food security and food crisis shortage, that chemical fertilizers were banned in March. The government, under pressure, has now decided to lift the ban, that certain people will be allowed to continue consuming chemical fertilizers. So after 6 months, the government realized that they had made a mistake and has now backtracked. All right. Then we move on. The other news centers cryptocurrency ban. Indian government is probably going to come up with a new bill for its official cryptocurrency. Okay. Cryptocurrency or official digital currency. Okay. by the RBI. This is going to happen soon. Because this is happening, right? Majority Indian holders of cryptocurrencies who have recently been doing or investing in cryptocurrencies started selling their cryptocurrency. The moment they started selling it, the price of these cryptocurrencies fell. So this is the news about that because the government is not going to allow investment in these private cryptocurrencies, people are going to stop using them. On the right hand side is probably where the future of banking is going to head. Niti Aayog, which is the think tank of Government of India, has called on for full stack digital banks. Banks that will only have digital presence, just like certain insurance companies are primarily digital. Now banks will also be digital. We keep having these apps which provide loans, but now they will be permitted or should be permitted to take deposits, provide loans, all banking operations without having a physical branch, purely digital banking. So digital banks, right now physical banks also have digital banking, but these will be primarily purely digital banks. So Niti Aayog is suggesting that we should create such banks. Alright. Then we move on. On the sporting side, India begins its new test series. It's happening right now. Then we move on to the context news. India and every country in the world keeps a reserve of oil. In case we have a war or countries stop selling us, 84% of our crude oil requirement, okay? 84% of India's crude oil requirement is imported. Okay? So, in case we have a war, we have to fight a war, where will we get the oil from? So in that regard, every country maintains strategic reserves. India, along with China, Japan, South Korea and UK, are going to release some of their oil reserves. India is going to release 1 day of its overall reserve. Right now it maintains 10 day का balance. That 10 दिन तक जितना required होता है, 10 दिन का import is what we keep as reserve. US keeps 3 months or up to 6 months. China also keeps up to 6 months. We keep reserves of 10 days, right? So in that regard, we are going to release 1 day of our oil reserves in the market. This is to reduce fuel prices. Why? Fuel prices are decided primarily by oil producing countries or OPEC plus, alright? OPEC has not been increasing production. Demand and supply का concept simple है. If there is more demand, then supply has to increase for prices to remain low. If that is not happening, then there is a concern. In that regard, the OPEC countries are not increasing production, which is affecting or increasing international fuel prices. So we need to see how this happens. The big move is, the answer to it will come to us on December 2. Okay? 2 December को OPEC की meeting है, तब we will get to know whether prices will go up or go down. That is when we will talk about it a little more. Then a need for proper pre-legislative consultation policy. Usually a bill should be consulted by the public, then by a standing committee and then passed. India के अंदर, especially during the past 2 governments, the current regime and the first tenure, only 15% of the bills have been consulted by the standing committee, and most of the bills have been passed in 1 to 2 days. Okay? What this does is, there is a real low consultation. When consultation is low, people protest, just like the farmers protested. These bills were passed in 2 days in the parliament, the farm bills. Right? Had the consultation taken place, repeal करने की बाद में जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, right? So all this is what this article is calling for, that there should be a pre-legislative consultation policy that should be mandatory. In US it is a case, alright, most of the bills have a consultation. Then the shaky foundation of labor law reforms. Similarly, जैसे farm bills हो गए, Article 370, land bill in 2015. Similarly, labor law reforms or 4 labor codes were passed in 2019 and 2020 without any consultation. So again, this is the key that is being talked about, that these reforms should also be discussed, and these labor reforms अब 3 साल होने को आ रहे हैं, अभी तक implement नहीं हुए. क्यों नहीं हुए? क्योंकि कोई consensus ही नहीं है. Protest will happen, so let the laws be passed, we will claim credit, but without actually implementing them. So on that note, we finish our newspaper analysis for the day. What to note in the newspaper today? The food security scheme, right? The food scheme. Then this National Health Family Survey, number 5, stats about that, okay? Then about POXO. So उनके बारे में notes are very, very essential for your preparation. On that note, I once again want to tell you that special classes of Unacademy are totally free of cost. They are a way for you to get well versed with the learners platform. You get access to lecture notes, and you can also enroll for these classes. On 27th, I am conducting a special class for essentials, and I am beginning a paid course. Paid courses are only for subscribers, but along with courses, in these course plus courses, you can ask me questions verbally. All right, in real time you can ask me questions and I will respond to you, unlike here where there is a one-off conversation happening. All right, if you want discounts on your subscription, you can use my code KUSGK for an additional 10% discount. Lastly, the Unacademy Law Aptitude Test and weekly T20 test are carrying on. That began during the World Cup, the T20 World Cup, but we are continuing with them. All right, so do make sure that today on legal aptitude you appear for your weekly T20 test. Lastly, if you find any bugs, please report them on the platform. The form is given in the description box. We are coming up with 3 new batches. First is Excel Law, which begins on 24th November, which is for CLAT 2022. Then there is a 30-day crash course for LSAT exam. And lastly, a 1-year law course batch, Gavel Makers, for CLAT 2023 aspirants. On that note, thank you so much to all of you. Please, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to it. Comment your doubts in the comment section. I will address them in tomorrow's video. Any doubts that you have, I will be addressing them in the first 10 minutes of the video tomorrow. On that note, thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up, press the notification bell icon so that you don't miss the updates from us. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow.